everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft How to Build. Now, you might be wondering what I'm doing here standing in our fishing shack, and I thought I'd just go ahead and show you guys this real quick. I went ahead and updated our little adventuring map in here since when we first built this, and wow, is this thing coming along. So in the last episode, we went ahead and built up the mine, which was right down there, and then we built up a blacksmith, which was directly next to it. And so now I want to go ahead and start building further up here in the next couple episodes. Now, we aren't going to be doing the second blacksmith today, but what we are going to be doing is that special build, which I was a little reluctant to tell you guys what it is, not only for awesome secrecy, but because I didn't really know what to call it. So we're going to be building right up here at this ravine, and let's go ahead and head out there. And I'll continue explaining while we run over there. So basically, what this is it's... You might be thinking a bridge when you hear a ravine, and especially when you see it up here. So what I've gone ahead and done is I just set up the trail to go across in the place that I am going to be needing it to be. And bridge is partly correct, but we're actually going to be building a ravine base of operations. I know, it's a mouthful. But I didn't want it to be confusing for people who might be thinking we're just going to be building a straight up base in an entire ravine, which would be really cool. But that's not in today's episode. This is just a base of operations. So when you're starting out early game, a ravine can have really good materials in it, such as ore and iron. And basically it's dangerous to go down and get some of that stuff. But by starting out with building a ravine base of operations, not only does it make it a lot safer to traverse up and down this place if you're in survival, but it also just makes it more convenient to get up and down and across as well. Alright, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start the build. We're going to go ahead and start doing this here pretty simply. We're going to have 2 horizontal logs, and they're going to be 2 apart here, as you can see. And then we're just going to run these all the way across that ravine. And please keep in mind, if you're building something like this in your survival world, to be very careful, because it is easy to fall and die. So there you go, disclaimer of the day. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and build these all the way across. I'd like to give it about 2 planks across if I can. And basically this just kind of looks like we set down 2 logs that somebody might use in order to cross a big gap like this in the wilderness. At least they do that in those crazy adventure shows. Okay, so now that we've made it across, we'll just hop down there and we'll finish that. And, I'm thinking we just do 1 for there because we want these to be even, and that's going to be 2 on that one. So we'll jump back here and run across, and then we'll do the same thing over here. Now, for most people, when they see a huge ravine like this in the middle of their town, they're going to want to close it up. But for me, I've always enjoyed building around the areas of Minecraft that are automatically generated. Particularly savanna plateaus and those giant, really weird mountains that they can form. For instance, you can make a really cool cliff-based design based off of what's already generated. And in this instance, we're pretty much just doing the same thing. Okay, that's close and... Oh, jeez. Yeah, be careful, folks. Luckily, I am in creative, but I have not my usual mouse on me, so this is a little touchy here. So now that we have our 2 logs set up on this ravine, we're going to go ahead and take some oak slabs and just fill this in here. Now we're going to lay these down all the way across. And that gives you a really simple bridge, and you could leave it there if you wanted. But we're going to go ahead and build on a house off of this build right about here. So now, going out, I'd say we can go out to about here. And we're going to go ahead and build 4 out from here. Oh boy. Yep. Make sure you're holding down that shift key, folks. Alright, and then... Basically from here, I was thinking about doing a pillar, but this goes all the way down. So I don't know for sure that I want that, but we'll just go ahead and do it for now. The best way to do this if you're playing in survival is I would recommend grabbing a water bucket if you do have the iron for that already. And then I would just pretty much set the water bucket down next to one of these planks and then ride that water all the way down and then just build up from there. I think that would probably be the easiest way to do it. Okay, and then over to here. I want to say out to about here. And then we'll bring this out. And we'll leave it like this for now because I want to make sure that I'm building up the right size here. Now, if we do something like this, that should be about right. And then we build these up. Oh, let's do 3 for now. It might be a little bit shorter than that. After looking at this, I think we do want to make it 1 shorter, and we'll just make these 2 high. Okay, like so. And then let's go ahead and build this up to about our typical frame. So let's do 4. There we go. And now, this is kind of a long drop, so I think I'm going to change this up a bit. And you can leave it as it is if you want to, but I think I just want to have a single pillar that reaches all the way down here. And I'll show you guys what I mean by that in just a minute. But so right here on this first little ledge where it starts to come out, you just want to put a little bit of a support beam running across this way. And we'll do the same thing over here directly under this outer beam. And then we'll go ahead and bring up these pillars from these other corners as well. Or I should say bring down. And we need this one as well. Okay, so just like that should be good. And you know, I'm just looking at this and I realize that this is slightly off. So we want these to kind of line up. So I guess it would be a little bit something more like that. There we go, that should be good. And now let's go ahead and add a 5th one here because we want this to be a tall build. And this is where the beams are going to run across. Okay, so now we'll try and focus just one area. I know we've kind of been hopping around everywhere. But let's go ahead and just build up this house. So now, taking the oak slabs, we're going to go ahead and fill in this floor here. And just like so, it's a smaller house build. But then we're going to go ahead and make a little hole right back here in the center. Now that we've gone ahead and done that, let's go ahead and add in the walls, which we're going to be doing with spruce. And I want to grab stairs here too because I want to do something a little bit different to give this a little bit extra depth. So we're going to lay down these stairs upside down just like that on both sides. And by both sides, I mean both sides facing the land and the part that does not hang over the ravine. So there we go. And now we can come back in here and add the rest of the wall with just regular blocks. Okay, and we'll do something like that for now. And then we'll go ahead and throw in this side as well. Okay, so these will work as some little windows out both sides, even though it's not too much of a view. It's mostly just trees. And then we'll go ahead and I think just one should be enough to build up a little side wall. There we go. And, let's see. After thinking about it, I think we're gonna go ahead and put in some stairs along this backside as well to make it look less flat. Okay, that should do it. Now, coming back into here, I think we'll go ahead and place in some stairs right through here. And then let's go ahead and throw in the windows. Okay. And now, so that we don't fall through this, let's go ahead and add a trapdoor right up here as well. Alright, now let's go ahead and start out by adding a few chests in here. The idea is that this is the little building that you want to come back to when you are full on inventory space, and this is where you want to drop off all your stone and ores and whatever else you might find down there. So if I can figure out where the chest is, there we go. We'll go ahead and add quite a few in here because if you're a big builder like I am, you might want to hold on to all of that stone and diorite, andesite, gravel, all of that stuff. So we'll go ahead and do a big build like so. And I'm thinking we stick one right in the center about here and here. And that might be a little too low. The idea is that we need to be able to get through here still, but I think we're okay. And now, one other thing I want to go ahead and add while we're in here is I actually want to add a second floor. And this is going to be for a bed, because if you're down there mining and you realize that you're coming up during nighttime, you'd probably want to go ahead and get to sleep right away if you're in a survival world. So let's go ahead and build a second floor right up here made out of trapdoors so that there's plenty of room. And you know what, we did that on the wrong slab. So when you're building up this second floor, make sure that it's down here on the one directly below it. So it should just cover the window. So like that. Okay, now we'll go ahead and grab some ladders. And I'm not even going to search for that, we're just going to go directly into keywords. And we'll build that up like so. Actually, let's go ahead and put it on this other wall. There we go. And in this wall, let's go ahead and add a few furnaces. For any of those ores that you might want to go ahead and cover up right away. And you know, I'm kind of thinking we add a third one right up there. And so even though you can see it right here, we're going to be putting a bed in right in this corner. So this should cover it. And for the most part, you can't really tell that that furnace is there. So it gives you one more to go ahead and use. Now we're going to add, actually an oak fence should be fine. We're just going to add a little bit of a railing right here. And you can even access your chest from up here, which is pretty cool. So I think we'll go ahead and add another set. Now coming back down to here, we also need to add a crafting table. Because if your pick is breaking on you, then you definitely want to go ahead and be able to recreate that along with a shovel and whatever else you might be using down there. Okay, so that should do it for the inside of the build for now. And let's go ahead and get into building up the rest of this. Now, I actually want to go ahead and grab an axe because I want to do a little bit of stripped oak throughout here because this is going to be a very loggy build. So we're just going to do that on the house section through here. And right up through there. And there we go. And, well, why not? Let's go ahead and do it up here as well. Okay, so it's starting to look very spruce colored, but that is okay because we are going to be adding in, along with the more spruce, we are going to be doing a dark oak stair roof. So just your typical one stair slope, nothing too fancy on this one. But we'll go ahead and add in the roof frame right through here. And the reason I'm leaving these little spots down here is because I want to throw in some little, where's it at? Let's do dark oak fence. Okay, so right up through here, gonna go ahead and add that, and that's kind of just like a little vent sort of thing, and it also kind of acts as a bit of a window. Now throwing on these stairs, it's gonna be pretty much a typical roof. The only difference is that it is going to slope downwards to those short pillars that we made before that are about too high. So we'll get in this regular roof here first, and then I'll go ahead and show you guys how we connect it downwards. Okay, so now that we're down here, let's go ahead and add a little bit of a slope. And basically just by continuing that one step, we're going to go ahead and land it right on top of those pillars. There we go. So now it's got this nice little overhang that comes down over the bridge as well. And we're going to throw in the underside to these stairs to make sure it's a gradual slope. Ooh. There we go. And coming around to here. So now that we've got that roof on, let's go ahead and move away the dark oak, and let's bring the spruce logs back down, because we're definitely going to be needing more of those. Now, really quick, a big feature of this build that I used a lot is lanterns and chain. So let's go ahead and bring those down here with us now. And let's start lighting the place up because it's gotten pretty dark. So now I'm thinking one right up there in that corner. And that lights the place up pretty well. And then if we want to, we could also do one right here. Whoops, not right there. Right here on top of that crafting table. And then I think I also want to go ahead and do one hanging off of this stair. Oh, maybe not with chain, that's a little too long. We'll just hang it off the stair. And then I think in this back corner here, if you can reach it easily, we'll do a chain and a lantern. And we'll go around to the other side and do the same thing. Okay. So that should light the thing up pretty well all around. And then coming down to here, I don't really have a good recommendation on how to do this if you're playing in survival. Probably again with that water bucket. You could set the water bucket in right there, and then you could follow the water down. But so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding one long pillar all the way down from this point. And we'll go ahead and do it all the way down to here. And this one we do want to reach all the way down to the ground because this is going to be your ladder. And obviously you'd have to get rid of the water before you can place these ladders, but that's if you're playing in survival. Okay, whoops, we shut the trapdoor on ourselves. So that will allow you to reach all the way down to there, but we also want to be able to reach some of these other floors. So you know how you're digging through here and you see, oh, there's this little iron sitting right on this ledge that's super annoying to get to. Well, that's what we're going to be working towards here right now. So taking another horizontal beam. Actually, let's make sure that we're doing this right. Okay, yeah. So depending on where you want to go ahead and mine from, you can do this at any level. But you can just go ahead and add in this horizontal beam. And using the same width, we'll go ahead and line this up. And we'll make an additional mining platform, essentially. And we'll do that right through there. And so you can have multiple of these little platforms if you want to, depending on where you need to mine. In this case, we'll just do the one as an example. There we go. And now I want to go ahead and add in a little bit more details to these beams. So we're going to go ahead, and turns out I still needed those dark oak stairs that I didn't think I needed. We'll grab these. And then do we still have the fences? We do not. Okay, so we need those fences as well. Now we'll go ahead and come up to here, and I think right about in the middle, well, let's see. Maybe not in the middle, maybe one above that middle section. There we go. We'll do something like that, and this sort of just looks like additional support on these frames. And then we'll also go ahead and do these arches. Whoops. Okay, so a little bit something like that, I'm thinking. Now, since it is getting kind of dark, let's go ahead and add some lighting to, oh, not like that, to these different sections. So now I mentioned that there's going to be a lot of chain in this design, and yeah, there is. So let's do something like this. And then as a light source for this one, let's go ahead and add a lantern hanging there. And then let's go ahead and extend this chain all the way down through here, so it almost looks like it's going through that beam. There we go, we can do something like that. And then coming back up to here, let's go ahead and add these details all the way around this little section. And for this side, you can either add horizontal logs going to those corners as well, or you can leave it open, sort of like what I'm doing here now. Alright, we'll go ahead and add these last few arched beams. And then another thing that you can do if you're worried about mobs hitting you and knocking you off of here is you can add a little bit of railing along here if you want to. This you can either leave like that, or you can go ahead and replace it like that. But I think we'll go ahead and leave the chain there. And so you can still just barely squeeze through there, but you'd have to be pretty careful to do that. Alright, now, one last detail that I want to go ahead and add to here is I want to go ahead and throw on a few stone buttons. And this basically just looks like bolts going through the beams and makes it look a little bit more, I guess, realistic or supported. Either way, it looks good and it adds a little bit of variation to the build. That way it's not just all this dark wood. And we'll go ahead and do down to here. And I think that should be good for that side. And then coming around to here, we'll add one there. One there. Let's see, do we want to put one where those supports are? No, I think that's okay. Alright. So now that we've gone ahead and done all that, I want to add just a few last little details to the area up here. So we're going to grab some more spruce stairs because I think a few of these I want to go ahead and replace. We also want some dark oak trapdoors, and we'll grab our spruce trapdoors once more. So using these dark oak trapdoors, we're going to go ahead and make some of those window shutters. And that kind of breaks up all that spruce once again. And then I also want to replace this section with stairs. So maybe not like that, maybe a little bit more something like this. Oh, this one stair is so hard to get to. Okay, we'll just do that, and then we'll go ahead and replace it. After you build this thing, you should have lots of access to iron, so it should be pretty easy to make stairs, or not stairs, pretty easy to make shears. Alright, and then we'll add these dark oak trapdoors. Okay, so that's given it lots of depth now. And back here, just because this is so plain and boring, I kind of want to add some spruce trapdoors, just as a little bit of an extra layer, I guess, a little bit of extra depth. It doesn't really do much for the build itself, but it's something that you can do if that back area is looking a little too flat. And ladies and gentlemen, I think that is going to do it. So this is our Minecraft Ravine base of operations. It's got your little bed right up there. It's fully functional for when you need to replace those mining picks. And coming down here, you can have lots of different access to your ravine's different layers. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you did enjoy this video. And if you liked it, leave a like because it really does help me out and it tells me that you're enjoying these videos. So it gives me a little bit more inspiration to keep working on them. I mean, I enjoy building one way or another, but if you guys enjoy them, I want to know that so that I can share it with you. Now, rambling done, don't forget to hit that subscribe if you want to see more cool builds like this. And we will be back for another awesome Minecraft build when we build our second blacksmith in the next episode. Stay tuned, and until then, have an awesome one.